Hi, everybody. Paul Walsh. I'm back with you again with my friend Michael Dobbs. And today we're talking about the holiday weather forecast. IBM and the weather company issue a long-range weather forecast twice a week. Goes out about 4 months, and now we're well within range to start talking about November and December. And the big news is that the prediction for November for the eastern half of the country, the projection is it's more than likely going to be warmer than normal. Now, that's warmer than normal compared to last November, where it was actually colder than normal, certainly the first half of the month. So the delta between the two is going to be dramatically different. It's going to be much milder than it was last year. Therefore, demand for seasonal items is likely to be down significantly in November. The good news is that by the time we get into the second half of November, i.e. Thanksgiving and whatever Black Friday turns into, conditions will be changing. And we'll be starting to see colder weather. In fact, the forecast for December, again, for the eastern half of the country, is for it to be colder than normal. Last year was the fifth warmest December on record. So the odds are very, very strong that we're going to be seeing much colder weather when we get into December. So what that means from a consumer demand perspective is that while in November there'll be a slowdown in what we call weather-driven demand for seasonal items compared to 2019, in December, it's all going to come rushing back. And so all of that demand that slowed down in November for seasonal products will come flowing back into December. And we may see, at least from a weather-driven demand perspective, the most favorable December in a couple of years. So it actually is looking really positive. To talk more about what that means from a retail perspective, I'll turn it over to Michael for his expert assessment. So go ahead, Michael.
Thanks, Paul. So what does this mean for our friends that are retailers out there and for customers who are going into the stores? So there is going to be a real temptation for retailers to start promoting items in November as the weather isn't so cold. They have sweaters out, they have things out that normally would be flowing through the holiday and winter season, and they're not going to be moving as much because the weather won't have broken yet. So there's going to be a lot of temptation to start promoting items early, but we know that the weather's turning. We know that December is going to be a really cold month, and so don't spend all of your promotional money in November. Hold on to it because December's turning. You're going to be able to drive sales in December. And so we would expect if you're an apparel retailer, things like sweaters and coats are going to really start moving in that December timeframe. Don't panic in November. If you're a grocer, for example, that things like soup or hot cocoa or winter type items are going to start really moving in that December timeframe. There's something else going on right now as well. So we're all dealing with COVID. And what do we do around COVID? And what is COVID doing today in our area? I was in a Kroger store recently in a supermarket, and they have today, October 15th, all Halloween goods at 50% off, which is crazy early. And the reason is that because of COVID, we're seeing Halloween being canceled in a lot of communities, certainly where I live. And so there's a COVID effect to holidays, and retailers always look at sales from a year-to-year perspective. This year in Thanksgiving, it's going to be warmer. So things that very often happen around Thanksgiving, people serving ice cream together with pies, maybe won't be quite as relevant. But bigger than that, we're probably going to see people still caught up in COVID. Illnesses are probably going to start creeping up as the flu season comes in. We believe COVID season will be coming in too. Both Christmas parties and Thanksgiving parties are probably going to be smaller. People won't be flying to go to parties the way that they do in other years. So this could be really headwind to grocery stores, for example, as they're trying to figure out what sales they can expect to come in the holidays, which normally are very, very strong season for them. So there's a lot going on this year, and this is very regional. If you'd like to know how you can take this information and use it to drive your strategy moving forward, reach out to Paul, reach out to myself, and we'll help you to understand what this can mean for you. Again, thank you very much for your attention, and we hope to be speaking with you all very soon. Thank you.